Have you ever had a situation where the outcome or the end result was mind blowingly different than what you thought the original end result was going to be? In the last few years, I have been extremely intentional in taking action in one area of my home with my children. And I just got the most beautiful gift from my daughter over Valentine's Day. That was something I would have never saw coming. And in the moment of receiving this gift, I sobbed tears of joy and surprise and just beauty that what I received was above and beyond anything I would have ever expected. I am so excited to share this story with you today, and I cannot wait for years from now to come back and play this episode and just remember this special moment that my daughter gifted me. The story today may be personal, but the message is universal. I cannot wait for you to step into that belief and that knowledge that your actions, your consistent, intentional actions truly create immense impact. Enjoy. I am so excited to share with you a very personal story that has impacted me deeply in the last week. And it's also just an incredible lesson about modeling what you want, but also just modeling who you know you're meant to be. And so I'm going to tell you a story that is personal to me and my family. And I hope it touches you in a way that not only inspires you, but reminds you that your actions matter more than you even know sometimes. I am a leader of a local organization. And that organization, we get together with moms every other week and we create the activities and kind of the curriculum that we're going to go through with these moms. And it's a way to support moms and connect with moms. And one of our moms brought the idea to the group that for the last January meeting, we should create these hearts to be placed on our children's door during the month of February. So we made 14 hearts. We were supposed to put one up on every single day of the month. So February 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, all the way through until February 14th, where your child would then have like 14 hearts with words on them, that things that you appreciate about them or things you love about them, or just things you want to share with them. And so at the last January meeting, we got all these different hearts and different colors, and we got to just like actually take time to sit down and create these hearts so that it wasn't something that you thought about, but you didn't follow through on. And so at the meeting, I wrote out my 14 hearts for Landon and my 14 hearts for Ella. And then I got home and I was like, you have to remember starting on February 1st. So it was February 1st, the kids were in school, and I thought, oh, I got to make like a little poster. So I drew this poster that said, Ella, comma, I love dot, dot, dot. And then I added the first heart. So each of the hearts said something that I loved about my kids. And then Landon, comma, I love dot, dot, dot. And then one more heart. So that day they got home from school, and at some point they went down and saw these things on their doors. And I overheard Landon say, "What is this?" And then he's like, "Aw, that's cool." And that was it. Later, Ella noticed the door, and then she came up and told me, "I really like the sign you made on my door." And I was like, "Oh, good. I made that at MOPS for you." So that night we're going to bed, and Landon says, "Mom, I have an idea. What if every single night you put a new heart on my door with something you love about me. And I was like, I love that idea. He's like, I think that would be really cool because I really like the heart that you put on my door. And so every day in the month of the beginning of February, I put a new heart on there. And sometimes I did it in the morning before they woke up. Sometimes I did it while they were gone at school. And sometimes I did it like in the middle of the evening before they went down for bed. So it was just every, day a new heart would appear and they got to read it. And then the conversations at night were like so beautiful because they were saying things, oh, I really like that heart. Or you know what you wrote today? I really like when we do that too. And so the things that I wrote were things like, I love when we go hiking together, or I love when you help me in the kitchen. I love when you're kind to your brother, or I love when you're kind to your sister. I love how you play with your friends so well. I love that you lead other younger kids. I wrote that for Ella. I love that you're so confident in playing sports. Just different things that I love about my kids that are like inherently about them, right? Not, I love your haircut. I love your new shoes, right? Like things that are true to them or things that I appreciate about them. So about February 12th, Ella starts locking her door at night when we're home for the night. And I come down there a couple times being like, hey, we don't really lock our doors. Hey, why is your door locked? And she's like, I'm working on something. I hope you can feel where this is going. So lo and behold, I was going to be gone on February 14th. So I was with the kids in the morning, took them to school, but then I had to go up to a conference that I was speaking at, and I spent the night in a hotel. So I wasn't there on Valentine's night, which Ella actually said that morning. I'm really glad you're not going to be home tonight because I have something exciting to do. And I was like, ooh, okay. And I had kind of figured that she was maybe going to put something on my door on February 14th. So I come home from my conference on February 15th and I walk in the door. And at the end of our hallway is my office. And that's the door you can see, like as you look down the hall. And there is a note that says, Mom, I love. I love when you make us food. And then she has little examples. I love how you want to write a book. I love how you have fun with us. I love how you care for us. I love how much you love us so much, how you draw, when you give us back massages, when you help us with homework, how you want to travel with Ella. These were just like the sweetest hearts. I love how you help us make our dreams come true. I think you can hear right now in my voice that I was brought instantly to tears and not like a sweet tear falling. I am talking leaky eyes. My eyes were just leaking water all the way down my face. And I just thought this was the most beautiful heart I could have ever received. She also wrote on here, I help how you help us when we're sad, how you tell your stories, and when you want to hang out with us, which I think is just so sweet. There was a moment that I decided to be super intentional with how I speak to my kids, what I share with them, what I say to them, how I talk about problems, how I talk about the future, how I cast a vision for them for their own futures. And this poster and hearts that my 11-year-old created was like reassurance that I am building up strong, caring, kind, loving individuals. And I share this story not to brag about how incredible my daughter is, because let me tell you, she's incredible. 5 years ago, these hearts might have said something different because I wasn't appreciating who they were as people. I wasn't building them up to thrive in their strengths. I wasn't appreciating them for who they were and what they were growing into. We actually struggled a lot when Ella was in kindergarten with her obsession with being perfect and doing everything the right way. And honestly, when her teacher came to talk to me about this, I instantly was like, this is a me problem. I expect her to fit in the mold. I expect her to toe the line and do everything the right way and do her best. And it better be the best of the best. And I really was saying, words of affirmation that focused on being perfect and doing it the right way. And I honestly feel after seeing this poster and kind of watching my daughter's behavior as she's getting, she's in sixth grade, that we've all kind of let go. It's been hard. For those of you who didn't hear the story, I took a pottery class to literally learn how to not be good at something and not be perfect and be okay with it not being perfect. And let me tell you, it was one of the hardest things I ever had to do because I literally just had to experience it and let it go because my desire for everything to be perfect was literally ruling my life and guiding my words and guiding my actions. And I think it was trickling down to my kids. And so here we are, 5 years of intentional words being shared, intentional words not only being shared to my kids, but saying words to myself, believing in myself, keeping up with a positive mindset so that I could thrive while creating an environment that I hope my kids can thrive in. And so when there is a heart on my office door that says, Mom, we love how you help us make our dreams come true. And so I want you to think about your impact. I've been doing a lot of speaking in these last 2 months, and I consistently run into people who say, but Anne, you don't know my employees. You don't know how stuck my team is. And you're right, I don't. But what I do know is that when you put in intentional actions over time, it's going to make an impact. And sadly, it might not show up as hearts clear as day on your door, but there will be a moment where you know that the time and the energy and the words that you put into other people have impact and influence other people's decisions. I want you to think about how you're talking to yourself because that is where it starts. When you flood yourself with positive input, such as listening to podcasts like this, you are going to be fueled with the knowledge and the actions to take. And then it's on you to put the actions in place, to actually take the action and slowly or quickly start to shift yourself and the people around you. I just want you to know that your words and your actions have weight. They matter. They have value. And when used in the right way and used intentionally, the impact can be immense. Now, if you are listening to this and you're like, and I wish I would have thought to do that in February for Valentine's Day, guess what? March is coming up, and you could do little four-leaf clovers on your kids' door. Or you know what? You could just send them a note. Some of you have teenagers. I recently was speaking at the Minnesota Community Education Association's Leadership Days, and I gave my appreciation module out to the group. And a woman came running up to me later in the day and said, Guess what? I sent my kid a Snapchat. That's right, friends. She was like, Anne, they don't look at their text messages. You have to Snapchat them. So I sent my kid a Snapchat of your workbook and put my appreciation statement for him on there. And I'm so excited to see what he says back. And it was just so beautiful that right then and there, she thought, I'm going to utilize this and I'm going to share words to see what kind of impact they have on my teenage son. Now, I know all of you are hoping for a happy ending. She came up to me later in the day and she's like, look at this message. And it was literally her son saying, what are you talking about? So she's like, looks like I need to get more consistent with these. And I was like, absolutely. And that is really what it is. It comes down to consistently what kind of words are you preaching out to the people around you? What kind of intention are you putting into those words? And I know some of you might be listening and you're like, Anne, I am constantly screaming at my kids. I don't think I could just all of a sudden start spewing appreciation and spewing positivity to them. First, I'll say, yes, you can. You can start whenever you want. And yes, are you going to have days where you raise your voice? Tonight, just tonight, I said out loud to my son, I have asked you 5 times to please go brush your teeth so that we can be in bed by 8:15. And he was like, okay, I'll go now. 5 times. So it's not all butterflies and roses, but it is intentionality. And it is taking deep breaths when you're frustrated and when you're stressed and watching what words come out of your mouth. I'm not saying you're not going to experience frustration and anger. I'm simply saying you can be intentional with your words and they can have positive impact. And this wall of hearts is going to be lasting impact for me. Like, talk about a legacy that you are building when your kids recognize that you are helping them make their dreams come true. You are helping them when they are sad. You are wanting to hang out with them. Think about that phrase. How many of you would say your kids think you want to be with them? It is not all the time over here that I'm wanting to hang out and watch a movie. I actually find it stressful to sit in the hours between 6 and 8 and watch a movie with my kids. It is stressful because I have energy and I want to get things done. And I love productivity and I love efficiency. And sometimes sitting down, I am counting down the minutes to when this movie is going to get over. But am I saying that? No. Actions speak louder than those words. And sitting and trying my best to breathe and just relax and take a little time out for myself is also important. So think about how you're being and who you're being for the most important people in your life. Now, if you listen to this episode and you do not have kids and you love this podcast because it helps you at work, I want you to think about intentionality with your words at work. What kind of things are you saying? What kind of things are you mentioning in quick conversation? How are you starting your meetings? How are you ending your meetings? What kind of words are you using during your meetings where it doesn't feel like a waste of time? You're not saying things like, well, we have to do this one on one. So what do you want to talk about? Or this is a mandatory meeting. So we got to do this each week. That has impact too. And so, what are you saying to your team to lift them up and to get them excited to engage with you and excited to be at work and to be valuable? And what they have them understand that what they bring to the table is value to your team, to your company, to your client. Understand that your words and your actions, when consistently implemented, can have immense impact. I hope you see your efforts reflected in how people speak to you or how people act to you or what they write for you as well. All the feels today. Now, speaking of feelings and excitement and energy and passion, the Lead with Impact March cohort is coming up quickly. Now, we had a little shift in the timeline. If you are local to southern Minnesota, there has been a change in plan in that we are creating an in-person event for in-person events, which is the Lead with Impact series. This is for leaders who have a team of people and you want to help them believe in themselves, take action, be consistent, meet and exceed the expectations, and feel proud of their work and feel valued as a member of your team. You are going to want to pay attention and watch for more updates on the Lead with Impact series taking place in New Ulm, Minnesota in April and May. The March Lead with Impact cohort is in the works. We are opening the doors later this week. Please watch your emails for the first to know email. You can go get on that by going to anvote.com/join. That'll get you on the email list and you will get all of the information on the March cohort. We did have to move back the timeline because of a fun shift that is going to be happening in the program. So previously, the program was a series of videos that were watched and then some live coaching. But we are going to add so much more to that to truly make this an experience that is going to help you quickly and efficiently shift your culture so that before the summer even hits, you are seeing the results from you putting in those actions during the March cohort. So stay tuned. Get on the email community. That is the Impact community. Go to anvote.com/join to get on there and watch those emails for that special announcement about the March cohort, which will be coming out later this week. I am so excited to continue learning and growing with you. Please go out there and create change.